Anneliese Michel was the inspiration for the movies The Exorcism of Emily Rose and Anneliese, The Exorcist Tapes. Born in West Germany in 1952 to a Roman Catholic family, her and her three sisters attended Mass 2 times a week and were considered to be a very religious family. Now, a little disclaimer, there is actual audio recording of the exorcism that will be played later in the podcast. As well, I'll include photos of Anneliese before and during her exorcism. Now, before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you have a story you want told or just want a fun place to talk about the paranormal, join the Dark Cabin Theories Discord, link in the description below. Now, Anneliese had a very normal life up until she was about 16 years old. That is when she would be at school. She would start convulsing and black out. When she came to, she was surrounded by family and some of her friends. Not knowing at all what had happened or where she even was, she was very confused. Her mother would take her to the hospital. Now, while at the hospital, the doctors would diagnose her with temporal lobe epilepsy, as well as severe depression. Now, back in the 1960s and 70s, people with mental illness were seen unfit to live independently or in local communities. They often were hospitalized. But Michel, Anneliese's mother, did not like the idea of her staying at the hospital. So, she would have her stay at home with her. Now, a few years would go by. There's not really much known about the development of her mental illness, but she is still having problems. Not wanting that to interfere with her life, she would decide to go to university. Now, her classmates years later in interviews would describe her as very reclusive and very religious. As her life went on, she continued to suffer from seizures and other things, including she started to become delusional and acting very disturbingly. She also heard voices telling her she was damned and would rot in hell every time she prayed. She also started to become intolerable to religious objects. Now, at this point, nothing the doctors were doing helped her at all. Her condition kept getting worse and worse. Now, she would go to a family friend for some advice, and her family friend thought that maybe seeking God would help her, because they are a very religious family, and they decided that they would take a little trip to Italy, and this would help her healing. So they went to a place called San Damiano. Now, San Damiano is a religious site. It's a 10-foot cross inside a chapel, and Christians see it as a place of healing. Now, when they arrived there, Anneliese felt very anxious. She was unable to walk past the cross, and when giving holy water by the priest, she was unable to drink it. This would make her and her friend conclude that she was indeed possessed. Now, an account from her friend in an interview years after, she says that Anneliese said that the ground was burning her feet like fire, and that the people around the cross praying looked like wild dogs snarling and showing their teeth at her. Also, when they saw the pictures of the saints, she was unable to look at them, saying that they hurt her eyes. Now, upon their return home, her family and community would also believe that she was in fact possessed. Her family would meet with several priests to talk about the possibility of an exorcism. The priests would all decline without enough evidence. They would advise the family to continue further medical treatment. Now, after this, weeks would pass. Anneliese's condition would worsen tenfold. She would become extremely aggressive, started eating bugs, and drinking her own urine. Her doctors would place her on a stronger neuroleptic and a stronger mood stabilizer. That is when she would start self-mutilating, growling at everyone, and seeing demons. Her family would plead with a local priest by the name of Ernst Alt. He would monitor Anneliese's behavior for a couple of days without her knowing. He concluded that she was indeed possessed. Now, consulting with the local bishop, he would request an immediate exorcism. Bishop Joseph granted Ernst permission to perform the exorcism, but it needed to be led by Father Arnold Renz, and also needed to be in total secrecy. They would perform the first official exorcism on September 24th, 1975. Now, the accounts for the first official exorcism are Anneliese began telling the priest weird things. She would laugh and mock them, screaming and growling at them as well. Also, she was throwing things at them. Not too much is known about all the exorcisms, except during the span of 10 months, Anneliese would endure 67 exorcisms. That's 1, 2, even 3 times a week, and they span from 4 to 6 hours each time. Now, in the middle of all of these exorcisms, her parents decided to stop consulting with medical professionals and relying solely on the exorcisms. Towards the end of the exorcisms, Anneliese would start to deny food and water, claiming the demons were taking her soul to hell. At this point, the priest believed she was possessed by 6 separate demons. Now, I definitely recommend reading about the 6 demons she was possessed by. It's a pretty interesting read. Just 1 out of the 6 was Lucifer himself. Not much is really reported on all 67 exorcisms. It's just the same thing every day, not getting any further. The priests that were a part of the exorcisms truly believed that they were fighting a losing battle. Now, here is some audio from the exorcisms. Viewer discretion is advised. It's about 4 minutes long, so if you want to skip ahead, I don't blame you. It is pretty terrifying.
Die müssen in eigenen Seminaren ausgebildet werden, die dürfen nicht auf die anderen Universitäten. Kapiert?
Klar. Wer soll schon etwas besorgen? Weil der Teufel größere Macht. Als Kind Gottes.
Im Bunde.
Noch mehr.
Sie müssen mit in eine Scheißkassette. Und zwar mit allem zu dem Scheiß. Gelogen wird's Muschkin. Und dann muss den Deutsch bekannt geben.
Now that was pretty terrifying. Listening back to that, it gave me chills. But I found something that I wanted to share as well. This is alleged video of the exorcism. Now, I do not know if this video is real or not, but I figured I'd go ahead and share it with you. That way you can see it as well. Real or not, it is creepy. Now, Anneliese would end up passing away July 1st, 1976. The causation would be dehydration and malnourishment. Now, in her passing, she would say that she is passing away to atone for a wayward priest and sinful youth. Those were her last words. Now, as for her parents, Ernst and Arnold, the two priests, they would be charged with negligent homicide. Now, the trial is pretty interesting to read about. The bishop who permitted the exorcisms stated that Father Ernst never told him of any medical problems with Anneliese, and that if he had known, he would have not allowed the exorcism. Several years later, he would also retract statements that she was ever possessed. Now, the parents and the two priests were eventually found guilty. The parents faced no punishment, whereas the two priests went to prison. Now, in 2013, there's an interview with Anneliese's mother. They asked her if she regretted what she did to her daughter, but she would tell them that she knows they did the right thing because she saw signs from Jesus on Anneliese's hands. Now, what do you think? Was Anneliese really possessed? Or was she just mentally ill? Comment your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to join our Discord and share your stories, or if you just want to chat about the paranormal. We do subscriber stories on our podcast all the time. I'd definitely love to get some more. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.